Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. I decided to test out YouTube's live function randomly without letting anyone know. So I expect to be the only person on this live because nobody knows that I'm starting it. I went on an Instagram live yesterday, like randomly decided to join somebody else's live that they were doing. And they were talking about a topic that I'm obviously interested in. And I was like, "Ooh, I want to comment, I want to comment, I want to comment." So I decided to jump onto their live and actually have a conversation, which is interesting because I'm not a lover of lives. I honestly prefer to be in front of the camera alone with no audience and just do my thing, and then after that, just check it out and be able to edit and sort of decide if I go with it or if I don't go with it. But we're testing out the YouTube live function. I'm really excited. For those of you that know, you know that I am on a break, on a content break ish. But to be honest, guys, like I missed creating content and I miss creating content. I can't believe there's actually people on the live. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. Please let me know. Wow, there's actually people who joined. Woohoo. Thank you for joining my first experience. Thank you, Lisa. Hi, Takealot. Tibelo. I think that's how you pronounce your name correctly. Yeah, man. So I was just saying, Gubana, I just decided to test this function. I've never done it before. It's the very first time and I'm excited about it. I hope to do it more often, but I'm not making any promises. You guys can probably hear by my voice that I'm recovering from the flu. I've been down and out, but I also miss creating content even though I'm on a break. So I told myself, ish, okay, I don't want to create a video and have to plan things, and I don't want to do a normal video because I am on a break, but I do miss the audience. I do miss engaging with you guys. So a live, I guess, is the best option. So hi everyone, I hope you're having a great weekend and I hope you're enjoying it. Where do I want to start today? I actually wanted to talk about my weekend anxiety. Please let me know if you can relate, and also be honest if I'm the only person who goes through this. But I suffer from such weekend anxiety, guys, and awesome. And I suffer from such weekend anxiety, guys. And let me explain what it is, right? So, you've got, if you have a 9 to 5, obviously, if you're self employed and you're a content creator, you probably don't suffer from this. But some of us have 9 to 5. So basically, your Monday to Friday is like already pre-planned. You know that you wake up in the morning, you take a shower, you get ready, you go to work, and then you come back from work and you do whatever it is that you want to do. When it comes to the weekend, the time is yours, right? And you can basically do whatever you want to do with it. That gives me a lot of anxiety because I'm just like, I don't know what to prioritize, right? I've had a long week. I'm like, ish, I've had a long week. And let me give you a typical example of what's happening now. Ne? Now I've got some time on my hands. So I'm like, okay, I've had a long week and I actually carried some work over from the week that I need that has basically piled up because I couldn't get to it. So I'm like, option A, do I use my weekend to catch up on my 9 to 5 work? Yes, I don't have to because it's my time and I don't work on weekends. But at the same time, it's going to help me sort of prepare and be better prepared for next week. So I can do that with my weekend time. Option B, do I work on my side hustle and the things that are going to basically like make me more successful in my personal endeavors? So if you have a side hustle or you're creating content, whatever it is that you're doing on the side, that's option B. Do you do that and focus on that? Option C, do you like relax and just own your time, have time to yourself, not pay attention to anyone, to anything, to any work or any content creation? Or even do you give that time to your family? Like, do you spend it with your loved ones? What do you guys do like on weekends? Do you suffer from the same weekend anxiety or is it just me? Do you guys have like a set schedule for your weekend to say on Saturday, I'm going to do this in the morning, then during the day, I'm going to do that. Then in the evening, I'm going to move on to this and all of that stuff. Do you take it as you go? Do you plan? Please let me know in the comment section. Because now I'm just like, oh my word, there's so many things to do. Like, where do I start? Where do I start? Do I want to be productive because that's important and you want to, achieve the right things? Do you want to chill and do nothing and give time to yourself? Do you want to give time to your loved ones and spend that kind of time? What do you guys do on weekends? Is it a free flow every weekend? Because to be honest, for me, if I decide that I'm going to give myself time, I kind of feel guilty. Number one, because I'm neglecting the people around me. So that makes me feel a tad bit guilty. Or I feel guilty because I'm like, ish, okay, if I don't give the people around me time and I give myself time, then I'm missing out on spending time with them. Or I don't do both and I focus on work, but then I miss out on both of those things. So let me know what you guys think. Personally, like your weekends give me anxiety because I feel like there's so many things on that to-do list. And sometimes when you get overwhelmed with a lot of things to do, you end up doing nothing. I don't know who suffers from paralysis analysis where you analyze all of these things and you're like, yo, do I start there? Do I start there? Do I focus on this? Like, what do I focus on? Do I choose productivity? Do I choose relaxation? Do I choose family time? What am I supposed to do? So I just wanted to chat a bit about that because I feel like, honestly, one of the things, let me just read Lisa's comment. To be honest, I used to suffer from anxiety also, but resting and spend time with your family is really fulfilling. Just find your balance. I think so, hey, and I completely agree with you that it is fulfilling because at the end of the day, we need to be productive to focus on work, right? Because we want to make money, we want to be successful. But at the same time, what is it all for if we don't get to spend time with our loved ones and also have that effect? I feel like that's totally necessary for yourself as well. So I don't know. I mean, I can hear different thoughts from everybody else, but I just wanted to share that. I mean, the weekend really overwhelms me sometimes, and I feel like we don't have this conversation often enough. And enye into that gives me the most stress is that it overwhelms me, and I've got, let me say, like one, two, three things that I could possibly do. Then I go on social media. Yo, when I watch those vlogs, I'm like, people have kids that they take to the park and then they also spend time, like they've also got date nights. So they've got date night, they're taking care of kids, they're running errands, they have second jobs, they've got side hustles, businesses, and all of these other things and 9 to 5 corporate journeys that are also going well. And I'm like, guys, where are you finding the time? Like, where are you honestly finding the time? Am I lazy? Maybe I'm lazy. Maybe I'm not giving enough time into what I want to do, but I don't want to lie, shame. Like, yeah, it does give me a lot of anxiety. And I just thought I would address that because normally I would just go into whatever it is that I want to talk about. But I'm like, come on, I can't be the only one who looks at the weekend like, okay, I've got 2 days and I've got all these things that I want to do. What is top priority? Is it my sanity? Is it my family? Is it leisure time? Is it work? Is it side hustles? Is it preparing for next week? Like, where are all these things supposed to fit in the bigger scheme of things? Um, so yeah, I wanted to chat through that. It's a work in progress though. I mean, amongst all of this anxiety, I just decided, I was actually on my laptop and I'm like, do I work? Sorry for the cough, guys. Like I said, I'm recovering from ifluka. At the same time, there's Tandizinto. So here I am, even though I'm supposed to be in bed resting, having a good conversation. But yeah, even through that anxiety, I was like, you know what? There's lots of things to do, but I also want to try a live stream, like just for once. And I do miss being on YouTube because I'm on a break from creating content. So I feel like it's killing two birds with one stone. So I just wanted to talk about that, that it's a real thing. And being tired and exhausted is also a real thing. I mentioned it in a conversation I had with a friend of mine on the channel where we were like, is it just us or is everybody super tired from everything that's demanding all things from them? Like, it honestly can't just be us. I think it's like a global problem because I've heard a lot of people talking about it as well on social media. So yeah, I wanted to talk about that and basically say that if there's anyone out there who feels the same thing, you are not alone. Like Sisonke, when it comes to being overwhelmed, we need to study, we need to work, we need to enjoy ourselves, we need to give time to family, time to our loved ones. We're also trying to be fit, we're trying to be healthy, all of these things. And I feel like Monday to Friday is blocked with work. And then obviously when you come back from the work, you're super exhausted. And maybe if you're studying and you're doing a short course, you focus on that and then you're done, and that's that. You don't have anything else, or you don't have any other time rather. So these 2 days are fully packed and you sort of have to give your time to all of the things that you want to tick off. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is my trip to Cape Town there. So I went on a trip to Cape Town to spend some time with friends, but also I had work that week, and then the weekend was obviously for leisure and having a good time. And guys, I've heard this a lot of times. And I've only been to Cape Town, I think 3 or 4 times, not more than that. But every time I'm there, I find it to be true. Cape Town and Johannesburg people are so different. If you've been to both places, please let me know in the comment section if you've been to both places. But I feel like the vibe is different, the environment is different, the people are also different. People there are so kind, they are so friendly. It actually reminds me of my time in Durban. So I was born at Eastern Cape, but I moved to Durban when I was 4 or 5, and I've lived there most of my life. And one of the things that I noticed that was really different from Durban and Johannesburg was the fact that people greeted in Durban. I feel like people greeted on the street, people greeted like in taxis, everybody was friendly and all of those things, and everybody got along. I knew my neighbors. I actually visited my neighbors. Kwakhona laa man of like Ubuntu and being together and all of those things when I was in Durban. And when I got to Johannesburg, everyone is just like, you know, everyone's just like, yo, I'm minding my own business. Like, I live in a complex, but I don't know my neighbors. I don't know what they do. I don't know who they are. Like, maybe I'd recognize them at the mall close by, but otherwise there's no relationship. And when I was in Cape Town, I honestly felt like, yo, I missed that Durban vibe I got from Ekapa that I didn't necessarily get from from Johannesburg, from living in Johannesburg. So let me know if you guys think that Joburg people and Cape Town people are different, because I definitely think they are, or rather from my experience of being there a couple of times, I think they definitely are. And I'll dive into some examples of why I think they're different. But I'm more interested in the comment section, because I mean, that's the whole point of a live stream, right? Is to interact with you guys. Michelle says, sometimes I have my weekends pre-planned, provided that I maybe have events or I'm running errands. But if I don't, I mean, I personally, my priority is resting family and doing nothing. Guys, like, can that be the thing? I feel like, can that be a thing? I don't know what's going to happen with this whole people proposing like a 4-day working week or whatever, whether that's going to extend our rest time or it's going to make it shorter or what it's going to do. But can prioritizing rest and family time and spending time with loved ones actually be a thing? I think that would be super awesome, because I feel like resta is one of those things that we think are going to happen automatically. Like, you're going to rest, you're going to chill when you want to chill. But it doesn't happen like that. If you don't prioritize it and tell yourself, from this time to this time, I'm actually spending time with people that I love, or I'm doing something for pure leisure and I'm not doing it for any other reason, like, I'm not going to be productive. You need to tell yourself, especially if like you are what do they call, you're a Duracell. I picked that up last weekend. But abantu who are very busy and who are always doing things, they call them Duracells. So if you're a Duracell like me and you're always like running to different ideas and doing different things, if you don't like consciously prioritize your leisure time, it's not going to happen. Like, it's not going to happen automatically. So Michelle, I completely support that. Prioritize your rest, prioritize spending time with your family whenever and wherever you can, because again, if you don't do it consciously, it's just not gonna happen. And then Lisa says, babe, do you save for your vacations? Yes, I do. Guys, in my budget, right? Whoops, there goes load shedding. If you're in SA, like, and Johannesburg specifically, then you know what just happened. But at least our lighting is still fine, and I've got a UPS so we can continue. I do save for vacations. I have an entertainment budget in my budget. Like, I've got an entertainment fund that I put money towards on a monthly basis. And every month I contribute a fixed amount. And then if I spent less during the month, then I've got a bit of disposable income. Then I add on to that. But I definitely do save for it and I work towards them. I've just gotten, let me tell you, like, how I got into the saving for vacation and trips things. So I actually decided or made a conscious decision prior to 2020, I think. Remember that point in lockdown where we couldn't like access takeaways and we couldn't access all of those things? I actually realized that I don't enjoy those things anymore, or not as much as I thought I did. So I started cutting down during lockdown. I started cutting down on things like fast takeaways, like wings, like KFC, all of those things that I was consuming but not necessarily enjoying. And I took that money out of takeaways and I put it towards vacations. And I'm like, I would much rather, if I'm going to spend 1,000 Rand or 1.5 on takeaways, I would much rather save that, put it together, and then just put it to one place and go for a short lift, or go for, like, even if it's a 2-night or 3-day thing. I feel like that gives me more satisfaction than consuming takeaways on a monthly basis. So I think when it came to entertainment, I just reprioritized. I moved from the short consumption to something that was like something that was more meaningful for me, and I feel like I enjoy that. And every time I'm depriving myself of like those Uber Eats swipes or those like Mr. D swipes, I know that I'm using it for the bigger purpose of actually doing something significant. So I'd much rather take short lifts and have less takeaways rather than have takeaways all the time and not be able to afford to take my short lifts. So yes, I do save for vacations, and that's a trick for how you can start doing that. If the money isn't in your budget already, look at something that you're not that's not satisfying you, that's not giving you as much value as a holiday trip would. And again, it doesn't have to be anything hectic. It could be going to Harties. Like Harties has some nice spots if you're around Johannesburg. If you go to the south, there's some nice spas with like game reserves that you can do there. So that's an option as well. There's lots and lots of options to take a break and vacations. It doesn't have to be your like international stuff, or it doesn't even have to be Cape Town, because Cape Town flights are a bit pricey. And if you were driving to somewhere in a short lift, you'd actually get a pretty good deal. But what helps me, Ekapa, I won't lie, is the fact that my accommodation is sorted. I've got family and friends there, so I don't pay for accommodation. And obviously, I've got transport through my friends. And so I just have to have an entertainment budget, and the rest is taken care of. So think about things like that as well. Do you have family in Mpumalanga? Do you have family in Eastern Cape? And places like that that you can use and not necessarily have to fit like the whole bill and just fit part of it. For me, I feel like that helps a great deal. You're welcome. So, okay, guys, the diculento of people being different name. Like when I was in Cape Town, people are so friendly, like in the most random of ways. For instance, the friend of mine that I was visiting, Shirley, like when she walks into the complex, you can see people greeting her when she drives in, and everybody knows each other. I remember it was her birthday on a Saturday, and she was like taking hugs in the morning, and I'm like, yo, it's a whole community vibe here, and we don't necessarily have that. And I remember I went to the mall at one instance. So I'm making small examples there, but it's just to give you guys an idea of like the different experiences that I have there that I wouldn't necessarily have at Joburg. So I went to pay a parking ticket in one of the malls, and the lady coming out of paying her parking ticket was like, hey, are you going to the parking ticket? I'm like, yeah. She's like, okay, I saw you holding a parking ticket. Don't put your money in there. Just use your card, because, it doesn't give back change. So I don't want you to make the same mistake as me. And maybe I'm overthinking things, but I feel like that type of experience, you wouldn't get this side. This side, like everybody's always quiet. And Umtu is going to be like, I don't want to impose and like, let me just let them do their own thing. Whereas here, people are like, hey, let me help you with that. Do you need help carrying that? Did you see that? Watch out for that, and all of those things. So I thought that was really nice. And it was just nice, man, to get that community feel. And a lot of professional friends of mine have been moving to Cape Town for different reasons. Like some of them, they obviously want more things to do, like from a lifestyle and activities perspective. You can go hiking a lot. There's lots to do in Cape Town, like a lot to do. And I've known people there I know people who've been there for years and years and years, but they still have all these interesting things that they get up to over the weekend. If you guys have like your online check-ins, away in the morning, everyone's like, hi guys, so how was your weekend? What did you get up to? And all of those things. And you were like, I Netflixed, I took a drive somewhere, like I met up with friends. And then people are like, oh, Tina, we went camping, PPP. There was a festival. We went to an art Ntontoni and all of these things. And you're there like, yo, okay, now I just watched Netflix and a movie and all of those things. Like, oh my God, So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that as well, that it's so interesting that people are different. And for me, I feel like it's weird because a lot of people come from the Johannesburg side and move that side. Do they then become super friendly? Okay, they were already friendly when they were living this side, but then maybe the environment didn't allow. And now that they're that side and everybody's sort of on the same vibe and the same wavelength, they're much cooler. I don't know what you guys think, but I definitely enjoyed my time there. I don't want to lie. Like that week, it was a whole week actually, that I spent there. And there was something to do every single day, which was like crazy for me. So during the week, I would work because I was not on leave. And then after work, there'd be something to do. It's either like we're going to try a new spot, or we actually ran out of time and not necessarily things to do, which was really nice. Because I feel like, and that's not, I'm getting old, but I feel like I'm outgrowing the restaurant thing, or just like restaurant hopping and going out and stuff like that. I kind of want to do activities. Like I want to do actual things. I want to interact. I want to, I don't know, climb something, camp somewhere, do something like that, you know, and not necessarily just go out to eat. I really want to do that. And what else did I want to talk about? Yeah, man, I wanted to talk about my trip. I wanted to talk about the different vibe that I got there, and just basically say that I kind of understand why people are into that vibe, and are into that kind of like lifestyle, and are moving along, going that side more. And then, oh, the last thing that I wanted to do is I actually wanted to unbox. Guys, firstly, I wanted to unbox my Takealot order that I picked up. If you watch my previous video, if you are subscribed and you watch my previous video, you would have seen that there is something in my goals. There's something in my goals that I'm just not getting to. So I was basically doing a recap in my previous video before I announced that I'm taking a break. I was doing a recap of like my goals, how I'm doing, what's working well, what's not working well, and all that stuff. And one of the things that I mentioned that I had really been struggling with was reading. I love to read. And you know, when I listen to the Mpumi Lidwabas quoting books, and I'm always like, bruh, I want to be that person. I want to be that person who doesn't just like speak out of the sake of speaking. And I'm not saying that in order to speak something that makes sense, you need to have read a book, but there's just something, man, about referencing something concrete. When you like give your opinion of something, you're taking it from a place of substance versus like which are from the air, guys. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. But I love reading, and I love it when I hear someone recite something that they've read and all of that stuff. So it's something that I really slacked on. I don't want to say it because of time, because I honestly feel like, I can take a lot. They will wrap your order. They will wrap the life out of your order, and you literally, at least I've got a scissors to cut it. So what are you guys doing over the weekend? Like, what are you up to at the moment? I actually like thought nobody would be on this live, because I mean, it's a Saturday, and I'm thinking people are outdoors and stuff, or going out, having something to eat at a nice restaurant. What do you guys get up to over the weekend? Maybe we'll save this for everybody who wasn't here. I'll see how confident I feel about letting everybody else into this, and maybe we'll save it. Okay, so from Takealot, what I went to pick up was, ta-da! I finally got this. This is what I went to pick up, that I ordered from Takealot. Guys, can we just talk about the power of influence? Influencing is a real thing. How many things do you have in your home right now not because you saw an advert, or because somebody told you to go and buy it, but literally because someone that you admire and someone that you look up to just had it in their background, or they had it somewhere. So I went and picked up this. Can you see? Yeah, I think you saw what it is. I went to pick up this. I've been meaning to get it, honestly. Okay, I wasn't super serious about it, let me be honest, but I really wanted to get it because there's just a couple of things that I would love to make a habit, and reading is actually one of them. So it's interesting that I'm going to read to try and improve on my habits. And I've been seeing different people like quoting that, I enjoyed the book. I think it was a lot of fun. It's a must read and stuff like that. And I told myself that I will get to it. But my ultimate deciding factor was when I visited a friend of mine, and I was telling her, I've just been trying to pick up good habits and get into the habit of doing certain things at certain times. And I just want to get into a routine, because I know that consistency is important. And I know that when I'm doing something consistently, I get better at it. It just works for me. I think it works for most people. And then she was like, oh my God, I've been on the same journey, and I've been reading this book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. I think you guys know of the book. I'm sure you do. And you've seen it. I've seen somebody review it or whatever. And I was like, I'm sold. I had seen it from different people, but as soon as a good friend of mine was like, yo, girl, I've been reading this book and it's doing wonders for my habits and the way that I do certain things and how I interact and all of those things. So tiny changes, remarkable results. I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm actually going to dig in to this as soon as I end this live. I'm going to dig into it. I'm excited about reading it. I've heard really, really great things about the book. And I thought to myself, you know what? I want to get into the habit of reading, but amongst that, I also want to get into other habits. And what better way than to actually read this? And who knows, we might just decide to review it on a live. God, guys, I'm not saying I will. Like, I'm not saying I'm going to do lives often, and I'm not saying that I'm gonna review this book, because I also feel like I set myself up sometimes where I'm like, I'm gonna make a series out of something, and then the pressure. Yeah, that's true. Okay, the environment changes you. Before you know it, you've adapted. I think that's what happened to a lot of us. Very true. I think I'm pro environment having an impact on people, and in fact, I believe that it does. Let me rather say it that way. I believe that environment plays a huge factor in people's lives, and I think it does. I think it does have an impact. But man, when we visit, I hope we can just bring some of that side, because it got me so excited about doing things outdoors and doing things that are not necessarily, like in the rhythm of what we normally do, which is like go out to restaurants, like I said, Netflix, chill with people. Nothing's wrong with that, but I really desire more. And I think there are things to do, maybe not as many as other places, but I think if you're honestly conscious enough to look out for those things, join clubs or communities or whatever it is, you can probably make it work. Guys, I am going to end the live. If you don't have any other questions, thank you so much for joining me for my first live ever. I promised myself that I was going to keep it to under 30 minutes, because I literally had like a bit of chats here and there, but I'm so glad. Actually, I'm very grateful to see some of you in the comment section. I was not expecting that. So that's like such a nice surprise, because it adds the live to the live element. And I like to go on there. I actually thought of going live for the first time on Instagram. I was contemplating, do I go live on Instagram? Do I go live on YouTube? But then I'm mostly active on YouTube. Like, that's my main platform. I think that's where I feel the most comfortable. I feel like there's no pressure to be perfect or to put on makeup or to get dressed up and all of that stuff. It feels like home. I think I've said this before in other videos, like YouTube really feels like home. So I wanted to test out the live function, but I was like, should probably do it on YouTube first. I think YouTube would be the best place to start. And then I'll see if I feel like moving on to other platforms as well. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Takealot, for joining me. And to everybody else who will join us, I will save the live so you guys can catch the replay. So we'll see each other in the comment section over there if you do join us. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for joining me again. And please do enjoy your weekend. Spend time with family. Spend time with your loved ones. Relax. Take time to yourself and enjoy. Love yourself. Prioritize your own time. And I think, man, we need to rest. Honestly, if we're going to hit that Monday, sorry, Nontogozo. We are actually like literally closing up, but I am going to save the live and you guys can catch the replay and we can, like I said, catch up in the comment section there. But thank you to you guys for joining. Like I said, I honestly thought I'd be talking to myself because I didn't say that this was happening, but I'm really glad that you decided to join me. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And yeah, man, hit that Monday running. I feel like, at least for Sunday, guys, Saturday, we can maybe run around a bit, do errands here and there. But Sunday, Sunday needs to rest. Like, I feel like if you're going to get into that Monday full force, like super active and ready, you need to calm down and you need to rest on Sundays. Because like we in this household are really trying to make that a priority amongst all things. Like, can we at least from 12 o'clock on Sunday till the evening or at night rest and just relax? Because it just gets too much. It just gets too much. Okay, our live is going to 30 minutes, so I'm going to super end it now, even though I've been enjoying myself. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.